Nebraska will get some players back this week. Not only will Jimari Butler and Mikai Gbayor be back in the starting lineup for the black shirt defense, but Matt Rule said here on Wednesday that offensive lineman Micah Mazzccua is now available and will dress. He will not start, but you get the sense we could see Micah Mazzccua now play in this game against Illinois as well.
Yeah, that's definitely something to watch because he's arguably Nebraska's best lineman.
Now, Michael Severe challenged me on this.
Would he say Ben Scott?
No, he says, where are you getting that from? Because he felt like in the Colorado game, he didn't look like their best. And that was his pushback to it. And Michael, I know, listens to our shows. And Michael's diligent. He watches these things closely. And he felt like in the Colorado game, there were points where he didn't look great in the second half. But I'm going off the body of work, the Baylor, the Florida, and kind of what we have seen at least early at times.
So he's just so powerful. I mean, he's got to be their most
especially
powerful.
In the first half of Colorado, the way those runs were popping on the inside.
Yeah, but anyway, this is good news. I don't think it was good to have that cloud lingering over the team. People were asking me, so many people asked me, what's the deal with Mazzccua? What's the deal with Mazzccua? What's the deal with?
And that's
Mazzccua?
the nature of Nebraska fans. That's why we have jobs. There's a craving for the information.
There's a craving, and also just kind of
the drama too. People love the drama.
Well,
just like if there's any kind of drama, they want to know what it is.
I think though, Sean, it's more wholesome than that in this case. Again, I think Nebraska fans sense this thing is rolling. It's in the early stages of getting back, and anything that holds it back, they get nervous about. And I think it was less about drama and less about gossip and more about, God dang it, he's a good player and we know it and we need him. Well, and I think it's more about that.
Everybody knows the deal with Micah. I mean, he's a hard-edged, no-nonsense Philly guy.
Yep. I think that helps him as a player. I think he'll, you know what else? I think he'll help him get in the NFL. I think he's an NFL player.
And Matt Rule is a no-nonsense, hard-edge, New York City, Philly-type guy.
Smart, though.
Donovan Raiola is a hard-edge Polynesian.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Sometimes emotions can get to people.
Yeah. So
whether it's the player, the player could do something. Who knows what happened?
The bottom line is this is big. And I'll tell you, Sean, I was in Fremont speaking to a group as we do. And Robin or Carter had sent a group, isn't on a group text we have that Rule said Mazzccua would be back. And before I left, this was around 1. My speech ended at 1. And I waited. They had to do a couple things. I waited to tell everybody, hey, just found out. Rule told the media that Mazzccua was back. And there was a cheer in the room. There was a cheer in the room. Yeah, people
love it.
Yeah, people are happy. I mean, and again, I think that's more about, come on, nothing. Let's not have anything.
Well, the margin is so little.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this is not 1995 Nebraska.
Right.
I mean, each little thing matters for this team.
Yeah,
it does.
So having him available,
Jimari Butler back, Mikai Gbayor back, and Tony Butler made a great point.
Tony White.
Why did I say Tony? Tony White made a great point about those guys that they bring some personality,
edge.
He
said they bring edginess, and they do. Gbayor has played exceptionally well. 11 tackles in his 2.5 games, but just exceptional. He's just exceptional in the box. He flies around. He does bring you something. He's very reliable. And then Butler. I mean, I wonder what Michael, our friend Michael Severe, would say about. I think he's got to be close to an NFL level player at this point. He's made some plays, and it's, but I do think it's edginess. I think it's just this having those that threesome together, Ty, and the polar bear, and Butler. It's just good to have those three ready to roll.
And this is a great way to measure his impact. So Pro Football Focus, they call it a stop tackle, and it's a tackle where you kind of win the down. It's an individual great play, and he's second on Nebraska's team with 7 stop tackles.
Butler,
Gbayor.
Oh, Gbayor. Okay, we're talking about Gbayor. Okay,
and John Bullock's number 1 with 9, but John Bullock has played 131 snaps compared to 75 for Gbayor.
Okay, well, that's good. You want your inside linebackers to be making stop tackles for sure.
But yeah, Jimari Butler, his presence, I felt it was missing a little bit against Northern Iowa.
I did too.
And, some people you talk to will tell you the Northern Iowa game was just what this team needed, because Northern Iowa came out hungry. And they played their butts off.
They did. They came out ready for a fist fight up front. And that's what this game is. That's what Marcus Satterfield said. It'll be a fist fight in the trenches. And it's a fist fight. If you would just, Sean, do yourself a favor and just take about 5 plays and watch what the line of scrimmage is like in this game. You and I aren't coming out of that alive. I mean, it's a war up front. And those guys are ready. Nebraska's got guys that are ready for it.
Well, I love the depth of this defense. I mean, I said this on your show today. There's 28 guys on this team that have played 21 or more snaps on the defense
this year.
Yeah,
this year.
Excuse me, 30. It's 30. 30 players that played 21 or more snaps.
Wow, that's building depth, and that's building a program.
I mean, okay, to give you an idea how deep that goes, Elijah Judy, who you would maybe consider a frontline name, is on the bottom of that list. He's only played 21 snaps all year.
That's surprising. Well, it's not bad.
It just tells you what they built here.
Yeah.
Like, if I would have told you Dylan Parrott has played more snaps than Elijah Judy, you would
surprising.
Keona Davis has played more snaps than Elijah Judy.
Remember though. Oh God, I about did it. I'm going to stop myself from going back to Belton, Texas.
You going to recap the Terrence Knighton conversation from Belton, Texas for the 8th time on the show?
He told us, watch Keona. Watch that big Polynesian.
Squeeze that lemon dry, Steve Sipple. You got so much out of that.
But how about Keona Davis, though? How about him routinely coming in games that are undecided, Sean, as a true freshman defensive lineman? And by the way, I don't know about without his helmet. With his helmet, you'd never guess true freshman. I mean, look at that. Look at the stats.
No, he was a late take.
And
they made room for him. So, Willis McGahee's another guy. He's played 37 snaps. He's 16th on the defensive snap.
Guy we didn't even talk about much in the offseason, McGahee.
Then it ticks up. You have James Williams at 47, Jimari Butler at 57. And Jimari Butler missed a game, so his number's a little misleading in there. But, Nash Hutmacher, they've really been able to manage him. He's only played 83 snaps in 3 games.
It's a good amount, though. I mean, It's a when I say good amount, it means they're not overusing him.
Where, like, you go back to the Ireland year, Colton Feast played like 70 some snaps against Northwestern.
One game. Again, this is a better managed program. I don't mind. Of course it is. Everybody's seeing it. I'm telling you, Sean, I think that explains a lot of the excitement. People are smart here. They follow this program closely. That's an example. You just gave a great example of better management. Nash Hutmacher playing 80-some snaps through 3 games versus Colton Feast playing 70 in 1 game. Come on, that's just you're managing your personnel better.
Here, I'll give you the exact number. I take that back. It was 63 against
That's
Northwestern.
Still a lot. That's still a lot.
Yeah, like through 3 games, Colton Feast was 98 plus 48. He was like 145 snaps through 3 games.
3 games. Yeah, geez.
And Nash Hutmacher right now is far below that.
Now Colton's a tough guy. If you asked him to play every single play, he'd do it. But that's not the way to manage personnel.
And that's I think when you talk about new age college football versus like the old school days, like when Sue was here, he played every snap.
Well, that's a little different.
Crick played every snap.
Yeah,
they didn't come off the field. Bo didn't sub on defense.
Not much.
Very little.
I'd have to look back to see if Crick.
I think just the way the game's evolved, subbing is necessary. Like, go back and look at Michigan last year, how much they subbed.
Oh, yeah. They were using 9 guys in the interior D line
all year.
Yeah.
And they blew out everybody. So they developed a program that way.